All right, people, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Eight. Thank you all for being here. Bunt, look at KP and AZ. Thank you for being here. Just came over from the lifeboat. A lot of you folks are bopping over from there, so I want to thank you for that. Let me do. This is going to be an exciting one. We got some cool stuff to talk about for real. We're going to wait till we get a few more people in here. Brock Bandy, Krista Melinda, my wrenches. KP and AZ, Lynn Arundel, thank you for being here. Jason P, my dude. Sophia, thank you for being here. Teresa Maddox, thank you. Look at that. Look at these wonderful people from the lifeboat. It's a good crew over there. Same vibe here, just a little spicier. Just as I am. Thank you for being here. Pepper Poppy, good to see you. Del Cox, how are you? It's the cat box. I don't know if you can hear it. I have an Atomic Smart Cat Box. Leanne Schofield, thank you for being here. Hello there. Cat Box is going.
I see that.
Amazing. We have a smart cat box. If you haven't ever heard of it, guys, it's the most. If you have cats, if you get one, it's called a Niacasa M1. No joke. It's the Rolls Royces of cat boxes. Smart cat box. I have an app to my phone. It tells you when she's gone in there, when she leaves, what she did. And 5 minutes after she splits, it cleans it. I don't have to touch a thing. Once a month, it tells me when to empty it. I don't have to touch that. It's just a bag. Zip it. Gone. It's amazing. Sophia likes spicier, as do I. As do I. There's Bizzle. There's my dude. Bizzle, good to see you, my friend. All right, so we're going to talk about some interesting stuff here. Do you guys like that thumbnail? Me with lots of hair? That's something? Some of you may not know it, but I used to be a hair model. I swear it's a true story. But this is my cat box, you guys. This is what this thing looks like. She gets in it. As soon as she leaves, the whole thing rotates and cleans it when it's done. Brand new. Unbelievable. Anyway, guys, who knows Howtown? You guys know the YouTube channel Howtown? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Some people know, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Anybody? Look at that. The one and only Tommy Scoville in the chat. Let me tell you a little bit about Howtown. Before I do, we got Vincent in the chat. Is the warthog hotter than Pepper X? Can I tell you something? A bell pepper is hotter than Pepper X, Vincent, because Pepper X doesn't exist, and a bell pepper does. We've all eaten one. So listen. We're going to talk about that because that's what Howtown sort of talked about. Let me tell you guys, these are, Teresa asked, how expensive is this cat box? Hang on one second. The cat box, it lists for like, I don't want to scare anybody, but it lists for like $6. But you can save $150 by using the promo code Scoville. We haven't made the video for it, which is one of the things I need to do for the company, but we're going to make a couple because they're just that amazing. So I can tell you this, if you have cats and you really love your cats, it's worth it. If you have cats and you hate touching a cat box, it's worth it. You put the two together, it's really worth it. I mean, it's amazing. But anyway, let me talk a little bit about Howtown. All right. Howtown. Vincent says, like the vid, 42 in the chat and only 12 likes. What's the problem with that? Listen, I don't know if you know Vincent. I've seen him go postal. Listen, he has a way of getting in you. He'll get in your house. Everybody hit that like button. Thank you, Vincent. You're a stud. So Howtown did a video, and let me get the actual title of the video because it's pretty spectacular. It's causing a little bit of a stir. Hi, Jane Aldrich. Thank you for being here. So let me tell you the name of this movie. Did anybody in the chat know what video I'm talking about? Jeremy Fowler knows it. Howtown's vid is great. Okay, so here's the name of the video. For those who don't know, if you haven't seen it, oops, let me get rid of that. Hit the button. Boy, Tommy's computer. This is why Tommy got a new computer. This is what the title of the video is called. Brock Bandy, good to see you. Jemima, good to see you. Here's what it's called. The Truth About Hot Ones Sauces. How long have you heard me? Have I been talking about this sort of stuff? They talked about the truth with hot ones. There is not, listen to me carefully. You know, there's 10 sauces. This is one of them. 2.4 billion. If you go to Hot Ones, they'll tell you that. Not one, and I mean not one of the sauces is accurate. Unbelievable. In addition to the sauces not being accurate, everyone was low. Every single sauce was low. In other words, they say it's 50,000, it's really 10,000, with the exception of one sauce. One sauce, they said it was a certain a certain Scoville level, and it came back like 40,000 hotter than they said it was, and that was the bomb. I think they did that. They didn't want the bomb to be that scary a sauce because it outshadows all their sauces that are 2.5 million. But what they did was they affirmed what I said. I came out, if you guys remember, a while back, got a bottle of hot sauce. This bottle of hot sauce. I reviewed it. Tommy and I reviewed it together. We reviewed it, and Tommy was a little apprehensive. He's not the lunatic chili head that I am. And I did the first taste, and I said, forget it, dude. You got nothing wrong. Don't worry. Hit it. It'll be fine. He tasted the sauce. Listen, it's just not that hot. So I got a lot of heat from that. The next day, I came back and I chugged the whole rest of it. I got news for you. I'm a chili. I'm a hardcore chili head. 2.4 million, I wouldn't have chugged the whole bottle. I promise you. You know how I know that? Doomed is 2.4 million. Yeah, I'm not drinking that. Anyway, the reason, you see the water level? That's 91% of this bottle. This bottle, from here down, is pure Pepper X, basically, which is 2.6 million. And there's only one more ounce left. It doesn't matter what you put in there. It's impossible to dilute this more than 2.3. It couldn't be lower than 2.3. Couldn't be higher than 2.4. It came back 61,000. What I did, I bought the bottle. I sent it off to a lab. It didn't come to me. I bought it straight from the manufacturer, sent it straight to the laboratory. They did the test. I didn't know. They sent it to me. I opened it up on video. 60,000. I think it was 60,800. We're going to say it was 61,000 and give them the benefit of the doubt. So then someone said, you know what? That's not really accurate. I mean, it's not really a study. Just sending it to one place. I said, boy, you are correct. So I bought another bottle, sent it to a different lab. That one came back 61,000. So it's 2.7% of how hot they say it is. Now, in spite of this video coming out with Howtown talking the truth, saying what the real numbers are and saying that, yeah, I was right. Not that I needed that. You know what they're still doing? They're still saying it's 2.4 million. Now, here's what you need to know. This is the crazy part. In the video, our friend from Puckerbutt, Ed, basically says, look, people don't understand the numbers. So basically just absolutely cop to the fact that he's pulling a racket. He basically just owned up to it because the average person doesn't know. Did you guys ever see the movie Tommy Boy? Remember when Tommy Boy goes to the factory? Zelensky. Got those there. And remember Zelensky? He's played by who's it played by? The guy was in the Ghostbusters movie. Anyway, he says, I make car parts for the car people because they're too dumb not to know it or whatever. Remember that? That's Ed. That's Ed with peppers. He admitted it. Pretty shameful. Here's the crazy thing. There's no law against it. They're just going to say what they're going to say. And I think it's up to people to understand it and know it. But it's a great video. Here's the thing. Do you think it'll affect anything? Listen, the heyday of Hot One was a long time ago. When I started the channel, here's the funny thing. Miss Constitutional, right? Thank you for being here. When I started Chase the Heat, honest to God, the channel was 2 weeks old and people were already saying, man, you need to be on Hot Ones. And for years, I would have hopped at the chance. I know that you may not believe this. It'd be really cool if they offered me just so I could do this, but I had turned them down today. I wouldn't be on that show. I wouldn't want to be associated with them. They're dirty. They're grimy. Shady. Let me tell you a funny story. Want to hear a funny story? Tommy was dropping me off at the airport once in Salt Lake City, Utah. There's a reason I'm telling you this story. I was running late for a flight. I got the flight on the way to the airport. The guy we worked with called on the phone as I'm driving there. He goes, your flight's booked. It's an e-ticket. Just get there, let him know. So I got there. Tommy dropped me off. He's got a kid named Jeff with him, a friend of ours. Drops me off. I go inside, put my bag down. I said, man, I just got here. I give my ID. They said, I'm sorry, you don't have a flight. I said, well, no, we do. I just booked it. My partner just booked it just now. Maybe it'd take a second to reflect, but it's there. He spent a lot of money because it was like, talk about last minute. The flight was taken off in 30 minutes. Anyway, she says, I'm sorry, you don't have a flight. You can buy another one. And I looked at her and I said, I have hair in my tongue. I said, listen, sweetheart, if you want to rob people, get a gun. It's easier. And she went, you have a gun? And grabbed her phone. I went, oh, no. She picked up the phone and started dialing. I turned around and ran out the airport as fast as I could. Tommy had turned all the way around, was coming back. I saw his car. I ran across with my luggage. I'm screaming at him. He opens the door. I dive in the back. I shut the door. As we're leaving, cops are coming from everywhere. If Pucker Butt or Hot Ones want to steal, get a pew-pew. It's easier. You don't lose, your reputation. I guess they don't care about their reputation. Guess that's it. Sofa says that might be the coolest beard ever. You know what? You want something funny? This coolest beard was that much longer a week ago. I cut this in a video like a week ago because it needed it. I've had it for too long. I really have. Anyway, that's what I want to talk about. If you guys haven't seen this, you really need to because, it's crazy. The whole time I was watching that video, I couldn't help but think of that scene in Tommy Boy when he's talking about Zelensky. I'd make car parts for American car people because they're too stupid to know the difference. Man, oh, man. Brutal. Yeah, I don't know if it's 10 inches. It's a lot, Brock. I think over the years, I had this from day one of the channel, and it's really been a drag. I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest with you. I didn't know it was going to be. Listen, listen, the second I cut that much off, I got a lot less sick of it. It was really a drag. It was just super long. But, what is Tommy doing here? Do you remember me saying something you want to tell me, Johnny? No, I don't. Come in here and tell me. Because I'm missing something. So while I'm waiting for him, Bizzle says, are you going to be going live on Christmas Eve or Christmas? I want to buy another bus pass for someone. You're a good man, Bizzle. I don't know. Here's the thing, man. Can I tell you, as a content creator, part of me, if you're a content creator, tell me if you know what I'm talking about. You feel torn. Part of it, you want to reach out and connect with people because that's what we do. The other thing, you don't want to be the guy that's irritating somebody because I'm streaming on Christmas Eve. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If everybody said that, there was a big need for it, and everybody said, I really want you to do it, I'd probably do it. But, I don't want to be a nuisance. I want to be respectful to families. A lot of us, we're family for a lot. You're my family. It's kind of the truth. Let me see. There's a bunch of good comments I'm going to read, so bear with me. Tommy's a very cryptic guy. That day. Come here, Tommy. Seriously. Hook me up. The day we picked you up at the airport. I'm going to mute this for 1 second, people. Hang on 1 second. Are you coming in here? I guess he's not. I'm probably missing something very, very obvious. That's just how it is. I'm kind of a knucklehead that way. Lisa Trimble's live. Thank you for being here, Lisa Trimble. All right, so what was I saying? Just a moment. I was saying something and I lost it. I don't have any idea. So Silver Surfer says, what about it? Oh. Silver Surfer says, what can I expect when I do Uncle Bull Cow Warthog Chug? Devastation. You know what? It's a good chug. It's hot. Tastes delicious. It really does. And I was missing something obvious with Tommy. I do that a lot, you guys. Dale Cox says that Johnny and everyone, I will be chugging the Double Doom reboot. Does it say the heat on that? I think it's 4 million. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I definitely should have told you that, Tommy. Anyway, Brian says, you recently said that you didn't like tea because of a bad experience. If I were to send you a bit of something I thought you liked, would you try it? I didn't really have a bad experience. I don't like tea. Here's the problem. I want to like it. You know what I mean? The only time I drink tea is when I'm in London. I'm in the UK. I drink tea all the time. And it's just because they pick on me and tell me I don't know how to make it right. You know what I mean? So I'm bad with that. So, but I absolutely would try. I promise you I would. Maybe asking because we were. No, we got out of there. It was a close call. But that kind of stuff's happened a lot. Brian Vandenbroek, good to see you, Brian. Thank you for being here. Okay, Dale Cox, 4.5. Is that what you're trying to tell me the heat is on that? 4.5 million, yeah. See, I don't know. I wouldn't chug that. Lisa Trimble gifted 5 Chase the Heat memberships. How wonderful is that? Thank you, Lisa, for doing that. Charlie Mullins, love you, man. Tell Mary I said hi. I love Charlie Mullins, man. Yeah, I wouldn't chug that. I have the hiccups now. Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that. That's it's crazy. So Silver Surf asked around. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Michelle, for being here. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Galactic Yachts 153. If there was a way I could go live on Christmas Eve and not offend people, like I know people are gonna say, "You gotta be kidding me! That moron's going live on Christmas Eve." But I know there are some people that would want to connect. So I'm kind of torn. It's one of those things, I'm not quite sure about it. So anyway, let me ask you guys a question. Put a 1 in the comments if you think this video from Howtown about the truth of the Hot Ones hot sauce. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's going to do something. If that's going to create a change. If you think nothing's going to matter, put a 2 in the chat. I think we're going to see more too. Second, John, good to see you. You're working OT. You know what? This doesn't feel like work. It's really easy. I've had jobs that were really work. I had a nice Remmer pod, slicey, spicy. It's a good. You know what? All the pods right now, because the winter pods are so good. I don't know if you saw the video I did this morning. I in a perfect world, I'd have an indoor grow facility, and I would keep the temperatures like it is in fall. Take a lot longer for the peppers to mature, like it is now outside, right? Because it's colder temperatures. But when they do that, the peppers taste so different, you guys. All right, so James Collins cares. One of my mighty wrenches. Ron eating the peanuts Monday, Johnny. So Ron is on the Sean Atwood show. If you don't know the Sean Atwood show, it's a great show. He's from the UK. Tommy, my brother, has a regular segment on there. Just a wonderful guy, great channel. And Ron is one of the other people that does host sections of time on that channel. And he's got a Tube of Terror, and he's got a Tube of Terror 2.0, and he's going to be eating them on Monday. So if somebody could put a link up for Sean Atwood so these guys can click on it, you're not going to miss it. It's going to be very funny. He was talking like, I'll eat the whole tube. He's not really a Chilean. He was talking about eating the whole tube. I'm like, slow your roll there. It's going to be funny to watch. Keir Williams, good to see you, dude. Thank you for being here. Had a great time with him in Pennsylvania. It was very cool. Austin Alfred, 1.5. I'm not sure. I can see that. Might make something. Here's the thing. Most people just don't care. I went and read some of the comments on that video, and you know what? I read one. Said, who cares? What does it matter? What do you mean? What does it matter? Play by the rules. If you can't play by the rules, then you probably shouldn't be playing. It's like any sport. If you're cheating, you shouldn't be playing. It sucks. I don't know. I don't think it's going to do a thing. I kind of wish it would. I just don't think it's going to. I don't think people care. I mean, if you read some of the comments, a lot of people are really, really fired up. But you can tell you can tell someone very upset about. There are a lot of people very upset about that video. But here's the truth: if you live in a day and age where there are people that absolutely hate that you're telling the truth, it's usually because they're telling a lot of lies, and that's kind of what's going on. Tommy and I got a lot of heat when we did that video, man. I'm not even joking you. Brian asks, is it possible to grow habaneros in an apartment? Do I need a garden? I've grown some weird stuff in apartments. I'll leave it at that. You probably can. Just look into some good grow lights. I'm sure you can. It's going to mess with the electricity bill, but you can do it. KP and AZ, I honestly don't know how you keep up going on all these different channels. Just running one has to be hard. You know what happens when you first started? Here's what happened. When I first started, there were people that I looked up to that I was like, I wanted to do collabs with them. Because you want to get bigger, you want to grow, right? And then, I remember my channel was a month old. I'm reaching out to LA Beach. You want to do a video? Dude's never going to do a video with me, and I get it. Do you understand? I get it. He's got 3 million subs or something. Why would he do a video with me? And it's not like he's a nice guy and all, right? But I have people that will message me and say, I just started a channel this week. Will you do a collab with me? And I'm not trying to be. It's not a case of, hey, I earned mine, you got to earn yours, but. There's only so much time, and I have there's some the Howtown. They reached out and said, "Will you do a video?" I said, "Yeah." That same day, I did a long interview with a person from the Huffington Post. the Washington Post, and they did an interview. So I mean, what happened? It gets busy, you know, and then when I was so busy, I stopped asking people to do collabs, and then people started asking me. So I don't mind doing collabs. I'm not really a big fan of doing collabs with a split screen unless there's no other way around it. I'd way rather sit in the same room with somebody. That to me is a lot more fun. And the Long Adventures. I'm the Jacques Cousteau of Peppers, and Hot One is the Sea World. A little different thing. I love it. That's a great comment. Austin Alfred, thank you for being here. I hope something like that video doesn't force sauce makers to send at least one bottle to get a baseline of here's the thing: you don't have to. Just don't make claims. Look, I sell sauce. I've sold. We at the height. I think we had like 7 different sauces that we sold. We never made claims. We said, yeah, it's hot. You know what I mean? Like our hottest one is called Painfully Scorpion. There's no claim other than that fact that it's hot and it's going to give you some pain, and it does. Like the Tube of Terror. I'll give you $1 million if you can find a video of me saying how hot the Tube of Terror is. I tell you what's in it, but I've never made a claim of how hot the Tube of Terror is. I've never done that. Because if you make claims, you got to back them up. And if I did make a claim, trust and believe it would have been accurate. But we just have never done that. So the way around it is just don't lie on the bottle. Like this says, you know, this, they didn't just lie on the bottle. They lie every time they open their mouth about it. You can tell the truth. You don't need it. If you don't make claims, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? James Collins cares. He's doing a fundraiser for a mod who has a dog shelter and for Shane. So you guys really need to go over there. It's going to be very, very funny. Anytime somebody thinks that they can power down a lot of peanuts from the Tube of Terror and they haven't before, good content. I promise. Yeah, Dale says if he's not a Chiliad, he's going to pay with the Tube of Terror. He sure will. Mr. Wheelchair Preacher, thank you for being here. I still exist. I'm glad of that. The world's a better place with you in it, my friend. There's the Sean Atwood Show. Please click on that. If you have not, if you could also throw up my brothers. If you haven't subscribed to Tommy's, you probably have. Most people here have. If you haven't, though, please do it. He's great at what he does. If you're, who's not, you know, the funny thing is, I think as we get older, we get more fascinated by true crime just because of this, like the psyche of humans. We try to understand it. So he's touched when it comes to true crime. He's very good at what he does. So please check that out. Let's see. Darius X. Hello there from California. Thanks for being here. The truth does hurt. Absolutely, Sophia. Work with Kate Jordan. Hello there. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Here is one more time. Sean Atwood. Here we go. I love rumors. Here's a rumor. I heard rumors of another show happening. Is that true, or can you not talk about it? I am not a part of a you mean Chili's? Are you talking about Chili's, Sam? Here's the deal. I do not know. I am not aware of a new chili show being created. And it's kind of odd. If there was one, I would know about it. So I don't think there's one being made. Now, there's other things that like Tommy and I are working on, but it's not chili related. JC, good to see you. I love that thumbnail, by the way. That thumbnail. So I didn't make that, you guys. I don't have the skill to make that. Somebody made that for me. Over the years, man, I've got a million of those. I've got some of the funniest things you've ever seen, and I'm going to start using those as thumbnails because they're kind of hilarious. James Collins Karras has tried it. He says it tastes like second degree. It feels like how a second degree burn tastes. I love that. Jason, there we go. Check out Ron over on the Atwood Show. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for that. Do you know what time that's going off? Please let me know when you know. All right. Thank you, Jason. Toby Reveille, I'm present and accounted for. I checked you as present earlier because I knew you were coming. You're good. James Collins Karras says, Jason P., you're a legendary mod, and I'm glad to serve you. Can I tell you something? He really is. You guys understand that sometimes, like, this is a relatively benign channel. We have, most people here are pretty friendly, and the vibe is very friendly. But you have to understand that Tommy and I are like anchovies. You don't you're not like this with Tommy or I. You either love me or you hate me. And so the people that love it, they're all wonderful. The people that don't, we have to have quick, very, very quick mods, and they are. There's Tommy's channel. Please check that out. James Baber, good to see you. Look at that, the strumpet. Boy, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. I gotta say it. It's the thumping strumpet. Say it carefully. And thank you for that very much. I appreciate that. Jacques Cousteau or Steve Zissou. That's good, Jay. There you go. You know, I kind of like Jacques Cousteau. When I was a kid, see, everybody now, if you're older, you kind of know, but the new kids don't get it. When I was little, it was like a big deal when there was a Jacques Cousteau special because we didn't know squat about the ocean then. I'm that old. My social security number is 4 digits, if any of you guys are wondering. But when the Jacques Cousteau episode came out, it was amazing. It was just very, very cool. So I was kind of into that. I've not, James. James asked if I've thought about Twitch. I've not. Here's the problem, man. You know, I'm not on Twitch. You know where I am? I do have another channel somewhere. Anybody know about it? Let's see if anybody knows about it. I do have one other channel. There's no point in me telling you about it. And here's why. It's virtually the same content there that it is here on YouTube. When I upload a video here, I upload it over there. Anybody have any idea where that is? The Double Doom does taste good. For how much, how hot it is, it's about as good a sauce as you can get for being as hot as it is. KP and AZ says, shout out to the awesome mods. I've seen you guys on different channels. It's a lot of work. You have no idea. Sometimes it's a lot more work than others. At the very, very end, when I retire, I'll tell you guys a funny story about that happened in a live stream one day. It was bad enough that I didn't do a live stream for 2 years. It was brutal. Rising to the top. Love you too, bro. I hope you're doing well, man. Dizzy Dragon. Boy, I saw a few of your comments over there on Howtown. Made me proud there, Dizzy Dragon. Come on, boss. I saw that. Sam says, how does one become a mod? I'll show you. Are you ready for this? You're going to think it's really technical. All right? Let me show you how this works. Now, the truth of the matter is, I'm not good with technology, and there was a time where this would have probably given me trouble. Where is that? Give me just a second. I'm going to find that. Where's Pepper Poppy's question? I'm going to have to do it after the video. I thought I could do it now. I can't. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, man. We'll get you one, though. Lennon. There's Lennon. There's ever a pepper that's hotter than pepper X, it should be called Outlaw of Sanity. You know what? There's already one. It's called the Warthog. I've never eaten a pepper X. But I will tell you this. That Warthog was twice as hot as any other pepper I've ever eaten in my life. Rumble, James Colin Cares is right. I have a channel on Rumble. It's called Chase the Heat. My cat sure did. Thank you for being here. I have to know, how are your bathroom chips after you eat super hot peppers? And that's why you typically read the question up in here before you just say it out, because now I have to answer that. I'm kidding. I don't mind, my cat. You know what? Here's the thing. Everybody asks that because everybody has gone out with friends and eaten something hot the next day. You're like, wow, I really hurt myself. I burned the next day. Because everybody's done that, you look at me and what I do, you think to yourself, oh my God, I know what happened to me with a jalapeno. He's eating lava. How is it? It doesn't, your body gets used to it. It doesn't happen to me. I in 8 years, 6,500 videos, I can think of 2 times that were memorable. I remember them. It was that bad, but only twice. So it's not that bad. But thank you so much, my cat, Shard. I went there. Leanne Schofield, I can handle hot, but I'm here to support those that can. Thank you so much. You know, the funny thing about it, this channel is about hot, but it's just about hanging out together. It's about hot when I make a video because you're seeing me eat something hot, but this is just about, you know what it's about? Connection. That's all it's about. It's the very truth. James Baber, Mary, I'm Big Johnny, and happy holidays. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. By the way, Northman, thanks for being here. I've got a new challenge that's going to be coming out next week. It was supposed to come out this week, but it was just Christmas and everything else. In fact, we may not even get out this next week. We won't because of the holiday. Right after Christmas, we have a new, brand new challenge that we're going to be releasing. And you know what? Hang on a minute. Hang on. And will you look at that? If I did it right, leave another comment Sam, and let me know if you got a wrench by your name. I think you might. Dale Cox, I was offered a chance to eat one. Dale says, I called and talked to, I think it was Ed's son, and asked if I'd come and eat a pepperoxy. Of course, he said no. On the first day of filming for the reality show Super Hot that I was in, I was offered, it was one of the funniest things. I've told the story a few times. I probably shouldn't tell. I make people mad when I tell this story. But the CEO of Pucker Butt shot his mouth off and told me to come out and eat a pepper. Never happened, though. Sam, look at you in blue. Very good to see you. Toby, what are exactly the responsibilities of a mod? Here's the thing. Here's what happens with mods. They're just to keep the order. I have kids watch this show. Okay. I have a lot of parents who say to me, you're the only channel on YouTube I let my kids watch unattended because I know you'll never say anything wrong. All right. So I don't swear in videos. As a result, but kids can read too, right? So we have a policy that there's no cursing. So if somebody says damn it or something, no one's going to freak out. But we're here just to keep the riffraff out. What happens is trolls come in a variety of ways. Some of them, and you need them. They're remore. And I get this from Tommy. You guys ever see a shark? The little things that hang around sharks, eat all the waste. That's a remore, and that's what trolls are. All right. So you kind of listen. They need to make their content. I'm not mad at them. They're doing what they can. No one will watch them if they make serious content. So they do what they got to do. But there's different levels of trolls. Some trolls are just come out and they'll say bad things in chats just to cause problems. Sometimes, have you guys ever heard of concern trolling? You guys ever heard of that? Concern trolling happens all the time. I bet you've seen it happen, but you didn't realize it. Have you ever been in a chat, a live stream, where you see someone type in, "I can't hear you," or "It's fuzzy. You don't sound right." Nonsense. That's called concern trolling. They're just trying to take the attention off the person who's the host. They're trying to get the attention off what they're doing and say, "Oh, can you guys hear me? Can I have a 5?" Everybody can hear you. They're just trying to what they're trying to do. It's called concern trolling. It's a thing. So what the mods do is just try to keep order. If somebody turns nasty, and I'm a mod on a bunch of channels. You know what happens when you have a wrench or a check mark by your name? Because I have the plaque and I have the check mark by my name. I've been in let me give you an example. I'll just tell you. Damien Vario is a YouTuber that makes true crime. He's got a lot of subscribers. Went in his chat one day. I'm watching a video. I left a comment. A wrench. And what happens is when a lot of times I think they want to see somebody with a plaque or a check mark by the name that has a mod on your channel. But a lot of times if I'm a mod, I just kind of sit there quietly because I don't want to be, and Tommy's, it's different. He's my brother. I've been Tommy's mod forever, man. Tommy, I went to a party. If somebody said the wrong thing, who's going to handle it? Tommy would. If I was at a Tommy's party and someone said something to Tommy, we handled it. We were mods back then. So we've been modding for each other forever. We're just a little bit more civilized in how we do it these days. Bizzle says, I started watching you because you didn't cuss, and I could watch with my mom when I ate. I love you, Bizzle. I love your mom and your dad. Tell them I said hi. You're wonderful people. You know what's really funny? It's funny you say that. I was telling my mom this the other day. I have the very first video I ever made. A friend of mine named Dominic said, man, you got to start swearing or cutting up or acting crazy. Your channel is never going to grow. And I said, dude, my kids are going to watch this. I don't swear in front of my kid. My mom might watch this. He's like, man, you're never going to grow. It's pretty funny. Anyway, James Bever says, how many other YouTubers do you watch besides normal ones and you're friends with? I mean, like channels that I follow, or there's a bunch. I watch a lot of true crime. Okay. There's only about, I'm just being honest. I feel bad saying this, but there's only about a handful of people that make chili videos that I watch. That's it. And the reason I watch them is because they're polite, they're kind, they're courteous. They were raised well. They don't swear. You know what I mean? I don't like, I don't know. I'm old. I'm getting old. I'm just different now. But there's a lot of people that I watch. The first channel I ever subscribed to ever was LA Beast a million years ago. Tor Andre Klingen. That is a wicked good name. Man, if I ever go into a battle, I want you standing right next to me and with a big sword or something. Evening from Norway, Johnny. No hope how are setting for X. I'm great. Thank you for asking. What a cool, wicked cool name. Thank you for being here. That's awesome. it's really cool when people from different countries check in. That's awesome. I love cats. Barbara, I've had some great cats. They're gone now and I miss them. I couldn't live without it. I couldn't live without them. Squirrel is all right. You know, the funny thing, if you watch the videos I do with Squirrel, she just talks. Like when Tommy got it, she was this big. And then when she meowed, he'd say, "Oh, yeah, really?" She meowed again. He goes, "I know what you mean." And he did that from the very beginning. So every time we talk, she thinks we're talking to her. And every time she speaks, she thinks we're understanding. I figure she thinks we got some of the stuff she says and doesn't get other stuff. But when you have that, when that's happening with an animal you have, I think it feels like a deeper relationship. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. You know, I've had cats that weren't really vocal. I still talk to them, but they didn't really talk back. But because she's constantly talking back, it's, you know, we're talking all the time. It's like, honest to God, nonstop. Last night, I don't know if Tommy even heard it, but last night, it was late in the middle of the night. She just wanted to talk. And in the middle of the night, it's really loud, it seems. Pepper Poppy, Sam watches a bunch of Forged in Fire when I go to bed. You know what's really weird? Here's what happens to me. I have trouble sleeping sometimes. I'm not the best sleeper. So when I have trouble sleeping, I always have, open my laptop and I end up watching videos. And what ends up happening is happens all the time. I'll end up watching a video about space and it scares the crap out of me. And then I can't sleep because I'm weirded out about how big space is. And I can't wrap my dome around it. Yeah, KP says other channels get pretty ugly. They don't delete the main comments, but they're entertaining. The reason I do it is because kids read. Listen, all three of my kids were reading when they were 3 years old. I don't mean sounding stuff out, but reading. Like we drive by, they'd read a billboard when they were 3. It was troubling. They lived in Reno, and so kids can read. I'm just very, very careful. I'm very careful. Here's how I look. This is how I look at. Lily says. The concern trolling, man, it's disruptive. I reported it happening to another creator. Didn't know it was a thing. Hello, Johnny and chat mods. It is a thing, and I'm glad you reported it. It's weird. It's just people trying to disrupt the flow. I don't know. It's weird that people do that. Tom Broom. Here's my approach. You want to know my approach? I don't think I've ever talked about this in a chat before. Here's my approach. Hi, Sandro, 101100 from Canada. Calgary. Big fan. You're always a great content. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Here's how I view, and if you have a YouTube channel, pay attention and listen up. If eliminating somebody in the comments is going to make your life easier as a content creator, that much easier, get rid of them. That's it. I would have, listen, if I didn't, and the channel would have been a 5-year run. The reason it's still going is because I tune that stuff out. And it's not a matter of just tuning it out. Kids are here. Good Lord. Kids, I get comments from children, like little kids that write comments. I have a wicked strong responsibility to make sure, they're going to get polluted. I'm not going to be the one that does it. They're going to get they're going to lose their innocence. It ain't going to be by me or anybody on my channel. And that's the way it's got to be. I don't want to be held, I'm responsible for that. When kids are little, their sponges are so flippin' dry. Anything, they suck everything up. And I want them to suck up good stuff. That's kind of where I'm in my head. Anyway, Kristen says, Squirrel understands English. All of us need to work on our cat speak. I got it, man. I've got it. Very good to see you, Tom Broom. The other day we were doing 1 hot minute. That was a great 1 hot minute, though, wasn't it? It was really cool because Tommy was just finishing up his stream, and he says, "Hey, everybody, go over to my brother's stream," and everybody did. And we do 1 hot minute. A lot of people in the chat have been through a 1 hot minute. They are wicked fun, but they're super spontaneous. I never planned them, and we did one that night. And there were so many people that had never done a 1 hot minute. It was so much. I got emails from so many people that said it was so much fun. But Tom Broom was driving to Pepper Night at the Outback every Wednesday, and he was driving there. He goes, "Oh man, 1 hot minute." Pulls over, does 10 million Scoville tincture on the side of the road, and jets to an 8. When it's over, gets back in pulls back on, and goes back to Pepper Night. That was awesome. Sam knows what I'm talking about. Listen, countless hours about space. When I was a little kid, if you knew, honest to God, it scared the crap out of me. Here's why. Like I think about the speed of light. The speed of light goes like 300,000 kilometers like a year. I mean, it's absurd how fast it is, right? But it still would take 160,000 years for light to go from one side of the Milky Way to the other. And that sounds like a long time, right? 96 billion years to go from one side of the universe to the other, going at the speed of light. I got to stop. It's a problem. It is. You know, Ivan Adams, Yvonne, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Does anybody else get freaked out by that, though? It's frightening how big that is. I remember being a little kid going, what do you mean it's endless? It goes forever. What does that mean? Like, I remember just going, but wait. Like, I don't know. Lennon says, is right, Johnny. Love the family friend is family friendly. Me too. It's an important thing, man. That is the Nimbus 2000. It sure looks like the broom from Harry Potter. That's a special one. It's electric. It has the same motor that we use in Scoville Brother Electric. BSE. Do you guys know about Scoville Brothers Electric? We made it in response to Pepper X. See, I was at the Pepper X and he says, well, you know, trust me, we have it. I'm like, well, I got a car in my garage that Tommy and I built. It's from BSE, Brothers Scoville Electric. It's faster than a Tesla. Charges in half the time. The corner's like a rat with sneakers, and it's better looking. Nobody's ever gotten a ride in it. Trust me, we got it. Anyway, the engine that's in that car is the same one in the Nimbus 2000. Lily says, you're a good egg, Johnny Scoville. Not a good 10,000-year-old egg sandwich, just a good egg. I'll tell you what, until you've had a 10,000-year-old egg, there's something. Thank you, Lily. That's an awfully kind thing for you to say. KP says, good for you looking out for your channel and the kids. I would lose if I had to do that. Can I tell you something? That here's the truth of it. You can do things right a million times in a row, and ain't nobody's going to ever comment or go attaboy, but do it wrong once. You know what I mean? And you know how this show started, how this channel started? I was watching a video with my daughter. I didn't know it was going to be a bad video. Not bad, just bad language. I said, honey, come here. This is hilarious. And she said, the second her little hiney hit the seat next to me, he let loose a bunch of F-bombs. And I couldn't earmuff it. I couldn't back it up. I couldn't say, honey, I'm going to flash this thing. And when you flash it, you're going to forget you heard that word you just heard because I've never said that in front of you. And now I got to talk to you about that. And I was so upset. I couldn't do anything about it. It was just a wicked bummer. And that was it. I remember thinking there needs to be a channel where, you know, kids can watch and not hear that crap. So anyway, they bum me out. You know, I mean, not that I want to be the one responsible for my daughter's innocence disappearing, but I was responsible for having her sit down and hear that, and I felt awful. So, Kristen, Brother Scoville, Scoville Brothers Electric, is that a nickname for your nervous systems? Exactly. Exactly, Bizzle. I don't like all that debris floating all over our heads. Me either. Yeah, the magnesium engine. It's something, you guys. You need to see this car. Tommy will talk about it on this channel. It's beautiful. And fast, forget about it. Just me being me. Thank you for being such a wonderful community. Can I tell you something? I just kind of sat here and it just happened and showed up. It's all you guys. It's not me. You gotta be kidding me. Don't give me credit for that. Jane says, space doesn't bother me, but as much as I'd like to, I can't watch Mark Wages anymore. I can't handle a space weather. But you know what? It's scary. I just see the thumbnails and they give me the creeps. I'm like, solar flares going to cook my house. And it's frightening. Ryan V says, you are a certified chili man, Johnny. Manitoba, Canada in the house. We need our chili insights and wisdom, Johnny. Cool stuff. Thank you, Ryan, for being here, man. I appreciate that. Man, you guys are all amazing. You know, I think you could be doing a lot of things. Isn't it Friday? Stay Friday. I'm sorry, I don't know what day it is. Yeah, it's Friday night. You could be doing a lot of things and you're hanging out with me. It's crazy. Kristen, exactly. If my child curses, it'll be my fault. Exactly. Honestly, that's it. You know what I mean? Study the redshift. The Earth is expanding faster than the speed of light. Yeah, you know how it is? Here's the best way to think about that. It's like a loaf of raisin bread. You have a loaf of raisin bread. When you cook it, it goes like this. It's the space between the raisins that's growing, not so much just the outer edge. It's the space between the raisins, and that's what's happening to the universe. So you can't go faster than the speed of light in space, and you can't. But space is expanding faster than that. See, now, here we go. See, now I'm going to end up on, here's, I need to watch some more of it. I really do. Thank you, Lily. It's the kid in me. I can't, you know. Anyway, I want to see the Demolition Ranch collab, Johnny. That would be fun. I love Demolition Ranch. It's a great one. I'll tell you what, classic firearms. That was a wicked cool collab. I don't know if you guys saw that. I mean, like 50 caliber. It was so much. A flamethrower. Come here, a kid. I was 12 years old that day. He's like, Johnny, want to shoot the flamethrower? I said, what did you just say? Why? How come I haven't heard about this yet? Oh my God, it was fun. It was such a good time. I'd be down for that. Imagine Johnny goes to the ranch and goes shooting and Matt eats a warthog. I'd be up for that. Here's the thing. You know what's funny? I picked the perfect channel because there's no such thing as ever running out of content. Every day there's new pepper. Every day there's something new that's hot. Doing guitar and cats. I'm never going to run out of stuff, right? But everybody that's think of Chili, LA Beast. I love LA Beast, but think of his content, right? When he's got he only has like 400 videos. I mean, he's amazing. But when he's got to come up with, he doesn't do videos like I do 4, 5, 6 videos a day, all day long. It's like Scoville TV over here, but it's not with him. So he's got to, I can't imagine the stress of having to come up with a big video every month. At some point, they're going to say, let's call that Scoville guy. It's with Tommy too. Tommy's great at talking about true crime. But somebody's going to go, is that the guy that eats peppers? What is he talking about crime for? Let's see if we can get him over here. And that's what ends up happening. There's I don't know. Makes it fun though. Just me being me. That is not my real name. It was not my birth name. I took that so that my daughter and my sons and my family wouldn't be trolled. I'm very, very proud to say that my daughter just graduated pre-med last year, magna cum laude, going to med school, already got accepted. And the reason I started the channel, she was a swimmer, right? She was on the swim team. Every picture is a bathing suit. Then she quit because I go home from work one day. My kid's mom says, you got to talk to your daughter. She wants to quit swimming. And quit. It's a dirty word, in my family, quit anything. So I got on the phone. I'm like, why do you want to quit, honey? What's going on? She goes, I don't want to swim now. I said, why? She goes, I want to dive. I said, you want to dive instead of swim? She goes, yeah. I said, how come? I swear to God, this was the answer. She goes, because I'll never get hurt swimming. It was too boring for her. She liked the danger of diving. She said that. She was a little kid. She goes, I'll never get hurt swimming. I went, it's my girl. I said, okay, you can dive, but you have to finish the season out. You made a commitment to your team, and you're going to honor it. So there's no quitting. At the end of the season, when the new season starts, if you want to be a diver, we'll support you, but you're not going to quit on your teammates. So she was okay, and she learned a good lesson out of it. She didn't quit, and she became a diver. And so all the pictures of my daughter are her in a bathing suit on a diving board. I'm wicked proud to say that she graduated college, and she's now in med school. And with the exception of a small, brief little thing, she was pretty much left alone. So pretty proud of that. So that's where the Scoville name comes from. Jaden. Hola. Much love. Thank you for being here, Jaden. Interesting. Does space exist, or are we under the firmament? It's interesting, Lennon. It's a funny thing you say that. When my oldest son is on the spectrum. You have no idea how smart he is. He's so smart, it's terrifying. And when he was his mom and I got on this one of those giant books that I don't know. It was, I think of who made it. I can't remember. It was a book about space. It was big as him. It was a huge book. And he just got into it and memorized everything, just read the whole thing and memorized it. One day, he was probably 5. We were talking about space. He just loved talking about space. And he goes, space is expanding. I said, I know. Pretty cool, isn't it? He goes, yeah. You got to know he's 5, right? He goes, what I want to know is what's on the other side. I said, I knew what he meant, but I wanted to try to see if he could explain what he meant. So I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, it's expanding. What's it expanding into? 5, right? I'm like, okay, let's go outside and throw a ball. Crazy. I do not know Edgar. Sam, I do not. I'm off Facebook. I loathe Facebook. I'm so glad I'm not on there anymore. Rick Spicer. I'm a fan. Good to see you, Rick. Mike, Chili, Eskimo, Stoltz. So good to see you guys here. I went through the, with this. We're a computer game for aliens. I went through the old "Are we living in a Matrix" thing, but I don't think so. I definitely watched Demo Rich, not like religiously, but I if I had a nickel for every one of his videos I've watched, I'd be happy right now. I watched a lot. You know what's really funny, Kristen? My daughter is so much more like me. I mean, my two sons, one of my sons is like me, one's not, but my daughter is so much like me. It's not funny. She really is. I watched her, you guys. I was watching a dot. She was just practicing. I went to one of her practice because her coach was in the Olympics, so he wanted to talk to us. It was a pretty crazy day. But anyway, we're watching her, and I'm sitting in the stands with her mom and her mom's her new husband. And we're watching her, and she goes to the 10-meter platform, climbs up, and listen, it's just it's 10 meters. I mean, it's big if you're 10 feet tall, but it's big if you're a little girl. This is only her second year of diving. She climbs to the top. I'm watching her. She did it. She goes to the edge of the diving board. She does a handstand. She's going to do a spinning like a 1.5 or something and go. Bottom line is I can't remember if she over rotated or under rotated, but she planked. And when I tell you she planked, she hit so flat that she barely went underwater. It was horrible. It was just the worst moment. I gasped. Everybody watching went, oh, you could hear the big, oh, it was horrible. Her mom jumps up to run to help her. I grabbed her. I sit down. I said, don't do that. Sit down. Let her do this. Because it would have been the worst if she had run over there. She got out of the pool. I'll never forget this. I could tell she was crying. Now, if you guys never seen this, if somebody falls from a high platform diving and you land flat, divers get something that's called an X-ray. And when a person stands back, like they're standing, like if they're facing that way, where their bones are, you see a white line where their bones are, and everything around it is red. It's the strangest thing. Google it. Google X-ray diving. X-ray mark from diving, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's called an X-ray, and it's dusk. So she's, I'm looking at an X-ray of my daughter. I can see her bones from behind. I'm kid you not. She has her head down. I knew she was crying. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. She climbs up again. Nobody was breathing. Like maybe 2 minutes had passed. She climbed to the top again. I was just like, oh my God. She did the same dive and nailed it. It was just a wicked cool thing. So she's a lot like me. She's a pretty cool chick. She's very, very smart. She's smarter than I am, which is great. Thank God my kids are smarter than I am. Now I feel better about my friend request to Johnny Scoville. I'm sorry. Can I tell you something? Here's the thing. I don't like that it's just an echo chamber. I don't like the fact that I just don't like anything about social media. I like this. You know why I like this? If it weren't for this, if it was just uploading videos and never doing live feed, I'd probably be done already. The live feed, the interaction, the give and take, and this relationship that we have, that is the reason I'm still doing this. So I just don't like social media. I don't like it at all. It's like there's this mob mentality on social media. And here's the problem. I'm cool with you saying something to my face if you have the guts to say it. I respect that. I have a problem watching somebody say something that I know for a fact they wouldn't have the stones to say to me face to face. And that is the part that angers me. You know what I mean? I grew up in a different day. It's hard. It makes it difficult. MD87. Merry Christmas, Johnny. Thanks for all the cool vid. Thank you so much, MD87. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you for being here. Keith Kingman. Just want to pop in and say hello to everyone. I'm very busy, and to get everything done for Christmas, just want to say hello to John and all the wonderful people. Thank you, Keith. Stay safe, and thanks for popping in. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can put a picture of a newborn baby, Kristen, on your feed, and someone will say something bad about it. That's just, I don't have maybe when I was younger, I could have tolerated that. I just, I'm an old man, and I'm just not going to have that in my life. It's not. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's weird. I feel like I was, I'm glad I'm alive in this era, but I almost feel like I grew up in the wrong time. Strong thumbs. Stronger thumbs and biceps. Yep. And it's a fact. I've seen other places, not so much here. It's a pretty benign. We have a pretty nice. Listen, here's the thing. It's like I said, if you missed the very beginning, it's a pretty benign channel. Most people here are very, very kind. But what you're going to find out about Tommy Scoville is something that very similar with me. You like the people that like Tommy would jump in front of a bus for him. The people that like Tommy love him. The people that don't like Tommy aren't like, well, I can just take or leave that guy. The people that don't like Tommy hate him. And it's no different than with me. So as a result, the people that rarely do once in a while when they do show up, they're vile because there's a powerful hate going on with those people. I love you, Kristen. People on the internet act as if they've never been punched in the face before. Here's the problem. They haven't. Do you understand that if you're having an argument with somebody and you bump them like that, that's assault? I grew up, they drive you to a fist fight. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. If you know how many fights I got into when I was a kid, it's like today, I mean, it's assault. It's assault, every one of them. And, that was just how we handled stuff. It didn't seem weird. It didn't seem weird. Love your videos, Johnny. I'm going to hopefully buy some merch soon when I get some more Christmas money. Thank you, Matt. You're awfully kind of you. Don't worry about that. Just hang out and have fun. I appreciate you saying that. That's awfully kind. Yeah, it is. Here's the thing. Let me tell you a funny story. The second time I went to the Hot Sauce Expo, I think it was the second time I went to the Hot Sauce Expo. It was the first time I saw a troll that used to go after me because he went after me on Facebook. Now, most trolls that go after me here, I don't even see what they look like because it's anonymous and that's how they like it. But this guy was bold enough to just say some really bad things about me on Facebook. I never engaged, but when I was in school, if somebody hits you really hard in a football game, you hear from the crowd, get his number. You remember that. Long game. You'll get your chance. So that's kind of how it works. And this guy shows up at the New York City Hot Sauce Expo. And I saw him before he saw me. And he was talking like I didn't know him. If it was somebody that I knew from home, then when we see each other, we're going to get a fist fight. That's how this is going to go down. I didn't know him. I didn't know what he was made of. I didn't know if he was serious, if he was just talking a lot, And I saw him before he saw me. I'm at the booth. And he's walking right towards me. So I'm not going to move because he's coming right at me. And he doesn't see me. He's looking all over the place, and he's walking directly at me. He walks right up to me, and he sees me, and he asks me for a picture. That's that. Anytime you ever think you're arguing with somebody smart, it's somebody living in the basement of it's some knuckle dragger. Don't ever engage. Gouty says, somebody once insulted my wife on Facebook from head to toe. He wrote something a mile long and then when she was blocked. And not even man enough to handle the reply. Yeah, that's how people are, man. That's how people are, man. I just grew up different. If you have the guts to say it or to write it, you should have the guts to say it, So. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up now because I have family here. I don't know if you guys ever remember Nephew Scoville. He's been in a bunch of videos with me way back. I haven't seen him in a while, and he is here now. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. You guys are all wonderful. I hope you have a great Christmas. You know what? If you guys want, I'm so torn. I'd almost rather have somebody unsub for me doing a stream on Christmas Eve than the idea of somebody lonely not connecting with somebody. So I think we'll do something on Christmas Eve. It is what it is. Anyway, I love you guys. You're all wonderful. Be kind to someone. Tell someone you love them. Thank you for all the super chats, all the mods that were here. You're all wonderful. And I appreciate you all more than you know. I mean it. Subscribe to Tommy, the Lifeboat, and Reese, Relatable Reese. I love you guys all. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase the Heat.